Yo, can y'all hear me? Can you guys hear me? Hello. Yo, can y'all hear me? Can you guys hear me? Hello. Yo, can y'all hear me? Can you guys still hear me? Can y'all still hear me? Can you guys hear me? Hello. Yo, can y'all hear me? Can you guys still hear me? Can y'all still hear me? Can you guys hear me? Hello. Yo, can y'all hear me? All right, I got everything. I got everything muted. Can you guys still hear me? I'm just trying to get this sound right. All right, I got everything muted. Can you guys still hear me? I'm just trying to get this sound right. Something's wrong still.
Let's run down the boats that will be in our Heat 1A. The U1, it is predominantly blue and white. It is the Miss Home Street. It is driven by Dylan Runny. He is a rookie, but he is a good one. He's going to
Everybody wants to win, but sometimes you have to risk too much in order to get there. Whether it's that lane, whether it's going over on the fuel limit, whether it's going on the RPM or whatever. So it's going to be a good, hard-fought battle.
2, 1, mark. 5 minutes to the start of our Heat 1A, our H1 Unlimited hydroplanes, the fastest race boats in the world, can now come out on the race course. The first boat away from the pit area is the U91, the Goodman Real Estate. So that was the 5-minute mark, and it is time to go racing. Let's run down the boats that will be in our Heat 1A. The U1, it is predominantly blue and white. It is the Miss Home Street. It is driven by Dylan Runny. He is a rookie, but he is a good one. He's going to be joined by the bright red Beacon Electric U8, driven by J. Michael Kelly. J. Michael Kelly's teammate, Corey Peabody, drives the U9. It's predominantly white. It is the Beacon Plumbing. And rounding out our 4-boat field in our Heat 1A is the white trimmed in black and gold Goodman Real Estate. It's U91. It is driven by Andrew Tate. Our boats can cut the race course. I'm expecting we're going to see some of that happen here very quickly. But before we get to that, as J. Michael Kelly is going to cut across the race course, the start of our Heat 1A is just a few minutes away, and Seafair reminds you that for your own safety and the safety of those around you, everyone must be out of the water when the hydros are on the Ted Jones race course. So it is time to get out of the water and enjoy the fastest race boats in the world. John Walters, I made a comment that I expected a couple of the boats to cut the race course. They all did.
Yeah, the race started the minute they pushed the button to leave the dock there, and you can see they're all running fairly close together. The start is huge here. These are only 3-lap preliminary races, so if somebody gets a jump on you, it's tough, as fast as all these boats are, you'll make up that difference and make up that distance. And you're going to see guys that want to have the inside lane. They're going to try to drag guys up there early so that they can maybe get them to jump the gun or make a mistake. You have to maintain a minimum speed of 80 miles per hour. That's kind of a judgment call now, and as Dylan cuts across the infield here to try and pick up that inside lane as everybody else is coming down the front straightaway here. So it's going to be a battle from the very beginning. Just like we said, this is a heavyweight championship, but it's going to be 4 different fighters.
Yeah, this is going to be good. So we're coming up on 2 minutes and 40 seconds. 2 minutes and 40 seconds. Again, for those of you that have never seen this before, we're not racing yet. That doesn't mean we're not in the middle of a competition right now. Watch J. Michael Kelly. Is he going to make a move? I thought maybe he might jump across to the backstretch, but no, that would have been a legal maneuver, but he did not. He went all the way down to the bottom of the race course as we approach 2 minutes and 20 seconds, 2:20 until the start. Remember, our boats do not have assigned lanes. They are jockeying for position. So wherever somebody is on the course right now, that may be where they want to be. It may not be where they want to be. As John was talking earlier, you've got to have a plan B, C, and sometimes D when you get out on the race course. We will begin our 3-lap preliminary Heat 1A in 1 minute and 50 seconds. John, they're all up at the top end of the race course. Dylan Runny's going to come off first.
Yeah, the way this race course is set up, at the 1-minute gun, you want to be between, about the apex of turn 1 here and the exit pin. It's a short run down that back straightaway, especially as fast as these guys go. So you're going to see everybody try to get down there, and like you mentioned, you're either at where the spot you want to be on the race course or where you would think you want the competition to think you want to be there. So a lot of this is just head games, and a lot of it's playing the game.
And another piece to this puzzle that we talked about earlier, but not yet during this heat, the boats cannot drop below 80 miles per hour. So that really affects how you fight for these positions. You can't just go park in a lane at the top end of the race course. You have to maintain at least 80 miles an hour. That will be determined by the officials when we finish the heat, and the boats come back to the pit area and they look at the data recorder. So now inside 1 minute, they were pretty much where you were talking about, John, and right now it looks as though Dylan Runny in the U1, the Miss Home Street, is going to sit in lane number 1 up the backstretch. That's going to be his teammate Andrew Tate sitting in 2, lane 3. It looks like Corey Peabody, but we're going to watch where J. Michael Kelly might slot. He's coming up behind the boats, and we are inside 35 seconds. John, they're at the top end. We're going to be racing here inside 25 seconds.
Yeah, they're all in pretty good shape. Dylan may be a little bit early, and you saw J. Michael Kelly last week, get up there too early, and he had to make a decision. Do I jump the gun or do I get disqualified? If you jump the gun, at least you get to continue to race. It's about 7 seconds off the exit pin, and here they come.
Inside 10 seconds now. They come down to the start. It is Runny in 1. It is Tate in 2. It's Peabody in 3. On the outside, J. Michael Kelly. We are 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1. Mark, it looks to be legal from here. We'll call them as they are on the water. And John Walters said that Dylan Runny didn't bring a lot of boat speed down as he was early. He's going to trail the field into turn 1. Our leader on the outside is J. Michael Kelly, but he's already been passed to the left of him on the inside. That is going to be Corey Peabody in the Beacon Plumbing, and inside of him it is Andrew Tate. It is Tate. It is Peabody up the backstretch. Halfway through, Peabody on the outside. He's up by about 3 boat lengths, but now, John, it's that inside lane position that Andrew's got at the top end.
Yeah, Corey's really in the best position here because he can control, how wide and how early, they get into the turn there. So he's going to try to hold and maintain that radius around there as they start down the straightaway towards the start-finish line to the end of lap 1.
A boat that's showing me an awful lot of speed right now is J. Michael Kelly because he's staying in the mix here, and he's running the biggest race course on the far outside. Our 4th place boat across the line is Dylan Runny in the Home Street now. Down to the lower end of the race course, it is still Corey Peabody. He's running in lane number 2. He's holding Andrew Tate to a nice tight line on the inside. He's driving him legal, John. He's giving him enough room, but he's not giving him any more.
Yeah, he's not giving him any extra, and he knows exactly where he's at. He's got spotters that are telling him he can see the race course himself very well, and he knows as long as he can pinch Andrew in that first turn there, that he's going to have to come off the throttle to maintain his boat speed so he doesn't slide out into that rooster tail. So he's actually controlling the first turn, even though he's not in the first lane.
I've been making the comment all weekend long that nobody has solved the Corey Peabody puzzle, and once again, he's out almost by a rooster tail. J. Michael Kelly on the far outside has got his sight set on Andrew Tate, but that's going to be a tall order as the boats go down to the bottom end of the race course for the 3rd and final time. Our leader off the exit pin, Corey Peabody, got almost a full rooster tail now on Andrew Tate on the inside. Tate, our top qualifier. Our Beacon Plumbing with Corey Peabody was our 3rd fastest qualifier, but John Walters, they've got a good race setup, and he's walking away from our top qualifier up the backstretch.
They've got an excellent race set up. The water was good. Corey did a really good job, and like I mentioned earlier, lane 2 is the place you want to be here. This is a big, wide race course with big turns, and boy, you get on any farther outside than that, and it's a long, long ways around these turns, but Corey was in a position to control that first turn and really put him in a position to win.
Checkered flag flies. Corey Peabody in the U9. Beacon Plumbing, 2nd place, is going to go to our top qualifier, Andrew Tate, U91 Goodman Real Estate. Then it's J. Michael Kelly in 3rd, driving the 8. That is the Beacon Electric. And the man who was a little bit early at the start, and you saw how it can cost him, Dylan Runny in the U1, the Miss Home Street. You talked about it, John. You said maybe Dylan was early. He came off the corner. The other guys were behind him, got to put the foot down. They brought the momentum to the line, and unfortunately, as you said prior to the heat, you can't let these guys get the jump on you because they're just too quick. You'll never catch them in 3 laps. Those who are watching and listening online are looking right down the tailpipe there of the U12, the Graham Trucking, and you can see that crew member's hand right there on that right side fairing. You see the hands up at the top of the screen. Inside 20 seconds to the 5-minute mark. John Walters, we had everybody cut the race course the first time out of the pit area. That's a legal maneuver from front to back where they did it. We will see if it will happen again in our Heat 1B. 2 seconds, 1 second, mark. 5 minutes, 5 minutes. That is the 5-minute mark, and it is time to go racing at the 2023 Home Street Bank Cup and APBA Gold Cup. Here's who will be racing once again in our Heat 1B. It'll be boat number 11. It is the Legend Yacht Transport, presented by the Old Cannery Furniture Warehouse. It's driven by Jamie Nielsen. It is Chartreuse Royal Blue. It is trimmed in red. It's going to be joined on the race course by the predominantly red, trimmed in black and silver U12, the Graham Trucking. Rookie Bobby King will be behind the wheel of that one. Bobby will be starting on the front row. He is fully qualified. Then you've got the U40, the boat John was talking about, that he thinks he may have everybody covered in top end speed. That's not everything, but it's a lot. Dustin Eccles will drive that beautiful blue and yellow hydroplane. It's the U40, the flavor pack. Then we have our qualifying driver, Gunnar O'Farrell, driving the U60, the Beast Unleashed. Presents Miss Thriftway. He's got to start on the outside of the field, and he's got to start 5 seconds behind the clock. So we are just a few minutes, in fact 3 minutes and 45 seconds away from the beginning of our Heat 1B, and Seafair reminds you that for your own safety and the safety of those around you, everyone must be out of the water when the hydros are on the Ted Jones racecourse. It's time to get out of the water and enjoy the world's fastest race boats. John, I was checking that little blurb. I had to read about the safety aspect. I'm looking at the race course. It looks as though maybe one boat cut.
Yeah, Dustin Eccles cut in the flavor pack, just past the start-finish line on the backstretch to the front stretch as they came down. Everybody started on that side of the race course, so it was real short to get to the race course, with the exception of Gunnar. He's over here on the lagoon side, so he had to drive all the way around, which works out just fine for him because, as you mentioned, he'll have to start on the outside lane and 5 seconds off the clock. Now, that's important, the off the clock part, because some of these guys, if they have a problem, they could be off the clock themselves, 3 or 4 seconds. He doesn't have to be 5 seconds behind them, but 5 seconds after the clock strikes 0.
And we just had an interesting maneuver because Dustin Eccles cut the race course again a second time. But as he came out of the infield and re-entered the race course on the front straightaway, it was made very clear last night at the drivers' meeting, if you come from that infield, as we're watching Bobby King do right here on the front straightaway, when you do that, you have no right-of-way. The boats behind you, coming up behind you, have the right-of-way. But it worked out well for Dustin Eccles because he was way in front of Jamie Nielsen, and he made sure to give his boat a squirt. So he got away, so there was no interference with a boat that was already on the race course, that being Jamie Nielsen in the Legend Yacht Transport, presented by the Old Cannery Furniture Warehouse. Up the backstretch with 155 until the start. Dustin Eccles is up there first. He might be a little bit early. John, you were saying he wanted to be down here at the lower end at a minute. Remember, he can't just slow the boat down. He's got to stay above 80 miles per hour.
Got to stay above 80 miles per hour, maintain a planing attitude. And you want to be about the apex to the exit pin when the 1 minute gun goes off. Now, you've already heard and seen some jockeying going on. If you hear that popping and banging out there, that's a compressor stall where the bleed band is locked closed, and it's getting down to a point where the bleed band is closing and the fuel control gets unhappy and the compressor stalls. Dustin's a little bit early there. If he backs off the throttle here, he risks, going under 80 miles an hour and could be penalized a lap or even disqualified. So as we're getting for the countdown for the 1 minute gun right now.
3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 mark. I think Dustin's going to be okay. He went deep into that corner to scruff off a little bit of time. Now he can swing it back into an inside lane. The boats don't determine their final lane until the entrance pin of the upper corner up by the bridge. So they could still see a lane change at this point, but I don't think it's going to happen. I think that's the way they're going to come to the line. Dustin Eccles in the U40, the flavor pack, is going to sit in lane number 1. Lane number 2 is going to go to Jamie Nielsen. That is in the Legend Yacht Transport. That is the Chartreuse and Royal Blue. Then it is going to be Bobby King in the red trimmed in black Graham Trucking 12. We'll have Gunnar O'Farrell on the far outside, trailing the field, coming to the line. We are inside 20 seconds until the start. Watch the boats fan out on the top end of the race course, and then a run down to turn number 1. And we are inside 10 seconds. Now look at Bobby King. He's got speed bringing it to the line. Is he too early? We are 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 mark. Boats are across the line. Bobby King appears to have a good start, and it is a legal start. It is legal. Bobby King, the rookie, going to take him down to the lower end of the race course, but he's got Jamie Nielsen with him, and also now Nielsen takes over the lead on the inside. Off the corner and coming up the backstretch, Jamie Nielsen, U11 Legend Yacht Transport looking strong. Again, another good start for Jamie Nielsen.
We need to publicly apologize to everyone who bought our titanium pro pan because we lied. Yeah, it's true. The pan is naturally non-stick.
John, as they go up the top end of the race course, but he's got company in Bobby King.
Yeah, Jamie made a really good start up there, and when Dustin got up there a little bit early, he had to slide out wide just a little bit, and Jamie slid inside of him there, got the number 1 lane. So, like I say, I think that Flavor Pack boat's got a little top end on everybody here. Jamie was able to, reel in Bobby there in the 12 as they got down there, and boy, they've got a real good race going here as they go to the first turn at the end of first lap.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3 down to the bottom end of the race course. It is Jamie Nielsen in lane number 1. Bobby King with a good start and a lot of boat speed is sitting in lane number 2. He is in position number 2. And then keep an eye on Dustin Eccles. You said he had top end on everybody. He might, and he's going to try and use it, and he's got his sights set on Bobby King. The race may be for second place, but I'll tell you what, Jamie Nielsen cannot relax. He's got a right side rear view mirror that is full of the rookie Bobby King. Graham Trucking running very strong up the backstretch. We are in the middle of lap number 2. Still anybody's race up at the top end. Where is Gunnar O'Farrell? There he is. He's halfway up the backstretch. So O'Farrell is still running in 4th place. Jamie Nielsen's going to come down and put 2 in the books, and that is going to be in 1st place. But look at the run for 2nd place. Here comes Dustin Eccles on the outside, the Flavor Pack. He flies the 40 as he drives around Bobby King on the outside, but King's going to have lane position on the inside. This corner's going to be very interesting for our 2nd place battle. It is the Flavor Pack, U40 Dustin Eccles. He has now taken over 2nd place. He's holding Bobby King in tight, but our leader with a full 2 rooster tails over those 2 boats remains Jamie Nielsen. Legend Yacht Transport presents the Old Cannery Furniture Warehouses at the top end of the course and looking strong. Don't count out Bobby King. He's still got lane position up here, and Dustin Eccles is going to have to drive a great big race course to go outside the wake of Jamie Nielsen. But coming down to pick up a checkered flag here, at least unofficially in our Heat 1B, Jamie Nielsen, U11 Legend Yacht Transport. 2nd place is going to go to Dustin Eccles in the Flavor Pack. 3rd place to Bobby King in the Graham Trucking, the U12. And coming off the top end of the race course in the U60, the Beast Unleashed presents Miss Thriftway rookie Gunnar O'Farrell. He will come by and he will score. That was an interesting start sequence because we're getting some really good examples of coming to the line too early, having to pull your foot out, lose a little boat speed, etc. And we can see how it can cost you. But I was impressed with the rookie, Bobby King. He put that 12 across the line first. There were others with more boat speed, that being Jamie Nielsen. And Jamie Nielsen's just been doing that all year long.
Jamie's been doing that all year long, you're right. Even last year, he was making really good starts and getting the inside lane most places when he put his mind to doing it. He put himself in a position, and kind of the same thing happened in this heat that we saw in the first heat. Somebody made a move, made a commitment to get up there and get that inside lane. In order to do that, they had to get there just a little bit early. And the minute that you have to back off or change lanes to keep from jumping the gun or stay above that 80-mile-per-hour mark, you become very vulnerable. And
down closely as we get close, try and give you a countdown over the last 5 seconds. For those of you along the shoreline who would like to set a watch, we will mimic the count from the H1 Unlimited referees. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark. 5 minutes until the start of our Heat 2A. That is the 5-minute mark. Boats can now release from the pit area and come out on the race course. And once again, here is who will be racing in our Heat 2A. J. Michael Kelly in the bright red Beacon Electric. That is the U8. He'll be joined by Jamie Nielsen driving the Legend Yacht Transport presented by the Old Cannery Furniture Warehouse. It is chartreuse and royal blue, trimmed in red. It is boat number 11. Then it's blue and yellow, Dustin Eccles in the U40, the flavor pack, and going to be joined by the black, gold, and white Goodman Real Estate, driven by Andrew Tate. The U91, a lot of speed in this one, should be a good one. We're coming up on 4 minutes until the start of our Heat 2A, and Seafair reminds you that for your own safety and the safety of those around you, everyone must be out of the water when the hydros are on the Ted Jones racecourse. So now it's time to get out of the water and enjoy the world's fastest race boats. J. Michael Kelly cuts the course from back to front, a legal maneuver. There's another cut right there. Johnny jumped right back over to the backstretch again. A legal maneuver by J. Michael Kelly.
Yeah, I think JMK is looking over there and he sees Jamie coming up on the inside lane, and Jamie's been really good at getting that inside lane and making great starts. So I think J. Michael knows he needs to have the inside lane here in order to win, and so he's not going to let Jamie get too far ahead there. I think he's just going to pace him here, and you'll see a real battle there.
Down at the lower end of the race course, Dustin Eccles driving a flavor pack, and boy, did he go deep into that lower corner. Watching the clock, everybody is. Remember, for those of you who are new or may not remember from this morning, the lanes are not assigned when they leave the pit area. They are fighting for those lanes, and this is what we call the milling period. John Walters, sometimes referred to as the race before the race.
It definitely is the race before the race, and like I say, I think that you're seeing one going on here right now with Jamie Nielsen and J. Michael Kelly. J. Michael's working real hard to move over and take that inside lane. He's just kind of pacing him behind there, and now you see Dustin, cutting across the infield here, looking to get into the hunt for that inside lane as well. So right now they're all in really good shape. Like we talked about in the earlier heats, you want to be about the apex to the exit pin or the first turn there when the 1 minute gun goes off, and then you can cruise down the back straightaway, and it's only about a 7-second run from the exit pin to the starting line.
And you were talking about J. Michael Kelly and Dustin Eccles maybe trying to find a way inside of Jamie Nielsen. Meanwhile, radio personnel to Jamie Nielsen are saying, don't move, don't, oh, look at this, look at Andrew Tate. He's going to jump over to the backstretch. Now, Andrew does not have a right-of-way here. He's got to be careful, and J. Michael Kelly went right through the rooster tail of Andrew Tate, and I'm telling you right now, the officials are going to take a look at that one. The boat that is on the straightaway has the right-of-way. J. Michael Kelly had the right-of-way there, and it is going to be a question about Andrew Tate. A boat entering the course from the infield does not have the right-of-way. I'm sure the officials are going to take a look at that. We'll call them the way they are on the water. And at the top end of the race course, it is Jamie Nielsen. He is right now in lane number 1. Kelly is in 2. It is Andrew Tate in lane number 3. Watch him come off the top end of the race course. But we're still a minute 30, still a minute 35, John, until our start. So they got to go all the way down and around again.
Yeah, they're going to cruise down here, staying above that 80-mile-per-hour minimum, trying to establish and hold these lanes. Like I say, if they can get down to the first turn here about the apex when the 1 minute gun goes off, they'll be in great shape. You'll see them accelerate and start up the turn. Now, they can still change lanes until they get to the score-up buoy here, which is the entrance pin of the second turn.
Up at the top end of the race course by the floating bridge. So you've called it about 1 minute. They want to be down at the apex of the lower corner. That's where they are right now with 2-1 mark, 1 minute. And it is Jamie Nielsen sitting in lane number 1. He is in the Legend Yacht Transport. Then it is J. Michael Kelly in the Beacon Electric. That's a red boat in lane 2. Coming up behind them is the predominantly white boat, the Goodman Real Estate, with Andrew Tate. And it looks like making a charge on the outside is going to be Dustin Eccles in the U40, the flavor pack, 37 seconds. John, as they go up the backstretch.
Yeah, they're all in pretty good shape right here. Actually, from J. Michael K back, they're in excellent shape, and you can see they're going to start accelerating, getting after the power here. They're going to have a little bit of a speed advantage by the time they get to Jamie up there, but he's still in control of this field right now.
Jamie Nielsen is in 1. Kelly is in 2. Tate is in 3. Eccles is on the outside. They are at the exit pin of the corner at 11 seconds. So they're going to have to hold back here just a little bit. We are inside 10 seconds. Now they start to come up on the power curve. Going to be a pretty start. We are 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1, Mark. And we are racing in Heat 2A. The start appeared to be good, but we'll monitor the radio. And it is going to be Andrew Tate and J. Michael Kelly that are going to get down here first. And they are literally side by side. But once again, Jamie Nielsen with the lane position on the outside. They're going to come off the corner 3 wide. The start is under review. We'll keep an ear to the radio. Look at them 3 wide down the backstretch. And now J. Michael Kelly in the Beacon Electric starts to move out a little bit on Jamie Nielsen, but he's bringing Andrew Tate with him. The two of them are tied together as they get to the top end of the race course and enter into turn number 2. Nielsen with the lane position on the inside, but boy, John, we got a barn burner on the outside.
Yeah, we absolutely do, and Jamie's got the inside lane, but he's really having to watch himself as the other two boats have got overlap now, and they're starting to put the pinch on him, hoping he'll have to back off the throttle, and then they'll give them a clear advantage to move over to that inside lane.
One lap in the books with 2 more to go. It was J. Michael Kelly by about a boat length and a half, but now Tate has closed that up. He's basically pulled up alongside Mike. The two of them are going to come off the lower corner virtually side by side. Looks like one boat, but now we see a little bit of white. We can see Andrew Tate, Goodman Real Estate, Beacon Electric tied together up the backstretch. And watch on the outside, Dustin Eccles in the flavor pack. He's not being lost. He was in 4th place. He has now moved past Jamie Nielsen as they get to the top end of the race course. Dustin Eccles driving a mighty big race course, but our leaders still tied together as they come down to put 2 in the books, John.
Yeah, as they come down this straightaway here, J. Michael Kelly's got the catbird seat. He's, the inside lane, even though he's not in lane number 1, but he's able to, keep Andrew on his hip right there and really control the race course. The boat is accelerating good. They got great boat ride.
Boy, I'll tell you what, Andrew Tate really flew the 91 as he got down to the corner. Kelly's going to come out first. Now he's opened up a little bit of water on Andrew Tate, making about 4 or 5 boat lengths. I'm telling you, Dustin Eccles not going away in 3rd, but I don't think he's going to have enough time to run down Andrew Tate. J. Michael Kelly, you heard John Walter say he is in the catbird seat. He's sitting on an inside lane. He's just got to negotiate this north turn, come through clean, come down, and he will pick up a checkered flag and an apparent 400 big points, and that's going to be huge in the national high point standings. We'll get to that later. Here they come, top of the course, come down to put 3 up and 3 down. Checkered flag flies. It is J. Michael Kelly in the Beacon Electric. He will finish first. Andrew Tate will come across in 2nd place. A hard-charging Dustin Eccles will come across in the U40, the flavor pack. And Jamie Nielsen, he will come down and finish in 4th place. He had that lane on the inside, but boy, it didn't take long for Kelly and Tate to move out on him, and like you say, then it got tight in there for Jamie, and they were holding him on that inside lane, and it's just tough to do.
It is tough to do, and even Dustin, he appears to have top end on everybody here, but boy, this is a big race course, and if you're on lane 3 or 4 like that, with only 3 laps to accomplish it in, it's difficult to drive by them. And typically, when you've got top end on everybody, you don't have the bottom end, and you don't accelerate as well. And on this big, wide race course, that's really what you want is the bottom end. You want to be able to get through the turns well, just squirt off that exit pin, and pull hard all the way to the next turn. And I think Dustin maybe has
Wayfair presents sofas and chairs. Find
Coming up on 20 seconds. Mark, 20 seconds to the 5-minute mark. Coming up on a countdown from 10 to the 5-minute mark. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Mark. 5 minutes. Green flag on the race course. The boats, remember, have to sit at the dock, and a driver actually has to have a crew member with a hand on the boat at the 5-minute mark before they can take off. But just like that, John Walters, they are coming away from the dock, and that means we're inside the 5-minute mark to our Heat 2B, presented by Beacon Plumbing. Once again, let's run down who is going to come out on the water. And the first boat out is powder blue and white. It is the U1. It is the Miss Home Street. It is driven by rookie Dylan Runney. The boat you're looking at on the screen, for those of you on the live stream, the U9, the Beacon Plumbing with Corey Peabody. Nobody has solved the Corey Peabody puzzle yet. He's driving the white U9, Beacon Plumbing, Corey Peabody. The predominantly red Graham Trucking U12, driven by the rookie Bobby King. He is away and up on the race course. And joining him on the race course, I see he is pulled away from the Stan Sayers Memorial Pit area, the U60. The Beast, Unleashed, presents the Miss Thriftway with Gunnar O'Farrell. The start of Heat 2B is 3 minutes and 50 seconds away, and Seafair reminds you that for your own safety and the safety of those around you, everyone must be out of the water when the hydroplanes are on the Ted Jones race course. So now it is time to get out of the water and enjoy the world's fastest race boats. John, I've been reading that script to make sure everybody's safe. What am I missing on the water?
Well, I think you're going to see Dylan make a real effort here to, get an inside lane and make a great start. He only finished 4th in that first heat there, so he's needing points. And, he dropped a few points to, the other boats there. And we're into the second round of heats here. Only a couple more chances to gather enough heats to get into the final. So I think he's going to make a real concerted effort here to get an inside lane, make a good start, and hopefully win first or second place here. Of course, there's 3 other boats out there that have different plans, and they don't think that they want him in that final heat. So they're going to work real hard to push him around and keep him outside there. So the rookie here in the 12 with Bobby King, he's got some learning to do. He's still learning the boat. He's still learning the race course. He's still learning these other drivers. And then Corey. Corey's got a pretty good handle on things right now. And like you say, he's kind of the main piece in this puzzle right now, and nobody's really figured that out. But I think they're going to pay real close attention to him, and hopefully in their minds they're thinking that they're going to be able to contain him and control him, not let him run away from him.
2 minutes and 20 seconds, 2:20 until the start of our Heat 2B, presented by Beacon Plumbing. Gunnar O'Farrell comes off the lower end of the race course. Behind him is Corey Peabody, and just entering the lower turn is the Miss Home Street, Dylan Runny. The boats are spread out on the backstretch right now for our Heat 2B, presented by Beacon Plumbing. Looking at the clock, 2 minutes until the start of Heat 2B, presented by Beacon Plumbing. Top end of the race course, Bobby King. He surprised me, John, in that last heat because he moved to an inside lane, not the inside lane, but he went ahead and said, I'm going to come in here and mix it up with you guys. And he had a nice start. He had a good run in that first heat.
He did have a nice start, and like I say, he's no stranger to fast boats and having to race hard. So he's going to come down here a little bit early right now. Looks like he's going to cut across maybe, or at least he's slowing way down, trying to get an inside lane down here and be in that first turn with a minute left on the clock.
Yeah, well, what it looks like to me, if he can hold it off and he can keep his speed above 80 miles an hour and get down here, he's going to have an inside lane. He may have the inside lane. I think he's sitting tight to the buoy row right now. 1:10 until the start, and it is. Bobby King is sitting in lane number 1. Oh, this could be a lot of fun.
This could be a good heat.
We are at 2 seconds, 1 second mark, 1 minute to our Heat 2B, presented to Seafair by Beacon Plumbing. And now, off the bottom end of the race course, Bobby King in the U12, the Graham Trucking, predominantly black, trimmed in red. He is on an inside lane. Next to him in lane number 2 is the U9, the Beacon Plumbing. That's Corey Peabody. He was a winner in his first heat. Then it is going to be Dylan Runny in the powder blue and white Miss Home Street. He's going to be in lane number 3. Look for Gunnar O'Farrell in the Beast Unleashed to drop back on the outside. He's way on the outside right now. He will drop back. He has to start 5 seconds behind the clock. I like where they are, John Walters. They were 20 seconds at the entrance pin to the corner. Look at King sitting in 1. I like it. Now, Dylan Runny, he's out in front of everybody, but he's not going to have a lot of boat speed. We are coming up inside 5 seconds. We are 3 seconds, 2, 1. Mark, it appears to be a very clean start. Corey Peabody's going to break the clock. It is a legal start, and he's going to get down to the corner first, but he's got Bobby King off to his left on the inside lane. Look for Corey to stick the white nose out first, and there he is. Corey Peabody but he's got a left side rear view mirror full of Bobby King. I'm liking this rookie, Bobby King, John.
Yeah, I definitely like Bobby. He comes from a long line of good boat racers. His dad, of course, being one of those. He's going to hang right in there. At this point in time, Corey's got enough overlap. He could take the lane, but I bet that he won't. He'll give him plenty of room down there. He's got boat speed on everybody right now. He made a great start leading these guys around the upper turn.
The boat you don't see is the Home Street, the Miss Home Street. He is on the outside. He is in third position. You couldn't see him up the backstretch. Here comes Corey. One up, one down, 2 to go. Still got Bobby King on the inside. It's about a rooster tail lead for Corey Peabody. The race is going to be for second place. Can Dylan Runny run down the rookie Bobby King on the inside? He's going to have to do it on a big race course, John.
He is, and this is a long ways around this race course, but Dylan's got the boat in a good lane right there. He's accelerating really hard. The boat comes off the turns, and he appears to have boat speed on Bobby when he gets to the other end there. But he runs out of straightaway just about the time that he gets in a position to make a move.
I'm telling you right now, Bobby King has closed up on Corey Peabody. He's only back by about 4, maybe 5 boat lengths, and he's got an inside lane. Bobby King is making a run out of this on the inside. King right on the buoy row. They're going to come off together. Peabody on the outside. King has taken the lead off the corner, and they're going to be side by side as they come down and put 2 in the books. Bobby King driving the daylights out of the Graham trucking on the inside. He has moved away from Dylan Runny, who's dropped back in third position. Third and final lap, lower into the race course. How do we do down here? Corey Peabody found some extra speed. He's opened up about 4 boat lengths. I'll tell you what, I don't know if King surprised Corey or not, but he made a run on that last straightaway.
It's hard to say exactly if maybe he snuck up on him there, but Corey's opened up a little bit of ground here. He's given Bobby enough room inside there. He's given him a lane in about a foot, so he's got to get in there and tighten up that radius.
Now we're back to keeping an eye on Dylan Runny in third. I don't know if he can run down Bobby King. He's way on the outside, got a big race course to do it. But meanwhile, here comes the leader. Here comes our apparent winner of Heat 2B, presented by Beacon Plumbing. It is the Beacon Plumbing. Nobody has solved the Corey Peabody puzzle. The race for second, it's a doozy, but it's Bobby King by 5 boat lengths over Dylan Runny in the Home Street. Holy cow, the rookie just keeps showing me more and more. Top end of the race course, here comes another rookie. We had 3 rookies in that particular heat. Didn't look like it. Looked like pretty good racing to me. Here comes Gunnar O'Farrell in the Beast. Unleashed presents Miss Thriftway. I got excited about that one, John. That was kind of fun. I had a good time. Let's do that again.
Yeah, absolutely. That was an excellent heat. And again, I think this is just a preview of things to come tomorrow.
Yep.
It's going to be an outstanding boat race. And, we've already seen some of that. Really good drivers, really good equipment. The water conditions have held up all day today. Actually, this overcast makes it a little bit easier to drive the boat.
You've got to find out where the line is. So we're inside 5 seconds to the 1 minute to the 5 minute mark. Again, I will give a countdown from about 7 or 8 seconds to the 5, and that's going to happen here in about 45 seconds. We will have a countdown. It is Heat 3A. It is sponsored by Home Street Bank, the U8 Beacon Electric, J. Michael Kelly, the U11 Legend Yacht Transport, driven by Jamie Nielsen, Dustin Eccles, and the U40 The Flavor Pack, and Gunnar O'Farrell. And the Beast Unleashed presents the Miss Thriftway. We are now 30 seconds. 30 seconds. Fans, if you want to start a stopwatch on the beach, I will give you a countdown to the 5 minute mark. 15 seconds. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. mark. 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Boats can come out on the race course. So we are ready to go boat racing here on Race Day Sunday at the Home Street Bank Cup and APBA Gold Cup at Seafair. Here's who will be racing in our Heat 3A, sponsored by Home Street Bank one more time. It is Bright Red. It is driven by J. Michael Kelly. It is the U8 Beacon Electric. Then the U11, the Legend Yacht Transport, presented by the Old Cannery Furniture Warehouse. The boat comes away from the dock. It is chartreuse. It is royal blue. It is trimmed in red. It is driven by Jamie Nielsen. Then you have the U40. They are away from the dock as well. It is blue and yellow. It is driven by Dustin Eccles. And the white boat with the orange or persimmon, if you would like, stripes on the boat. Looks like the Miss Thriftway. For those of you of a certain vintage, it is the Beast Unleashed presents the Miss Thriftway. It is driven by Gunnar O'Farrell. The start of Heat 3A is just under 4 minutes away, and Seafair reminds you that for your own safety and the safety of those around you, everybody must be out of the water when the Hydros are on the Ted Jones race course, and they are on that course now. We need you up and on the shoreline, please. So now it's time to get out of the water and enjoy the world's fastest race boats. 3 minutes and 30 seconds, 3:30 to the start of our Heat 3A, presented by Home Street Bank. John Walters. Yesterday, the boats came out of the pit area, and immediately everybody was jumping across the race course. This morning, first heat, nobody.
Yeah, that's just the difference, I guess, depending on when they left and how they, lined up on the course there. It's so important to get the inside lane here, and they're able to go. Now, we've just got one that's cut across the infield here, and Jamie Nielsen has taken a shortcut across the course, not going through the first turn here, trying to get a position to establish that position in the inside lane.
And that's a perfectly legal maneuver. Now here comes Jamie from the backside to the front, and that too is a legal maneuver. He can only cut the race course where he just did it. He can cut back to front like he just did at the north end of the race course. He can cut front to back at the bottom end of the race course, which he did before. And he, Jamie Nielsen, is going to follow J. Michael Kelly in the U8. That's the bright red Beacon Electric. He's going to follow him down to the lower end of the race course. Meanwhile, coming off the bottom end of the race course at 2:23 until the start. 2:20 now up the backstretch. The first boat up there is the blue and yellow. That is the Flavor Pack. And Dustin Eccles, he's followed by Gunnar O'Farrell in the predominantly white Beast Unleashed presents Miss Thriftway. 2:06, John, 2:06. This is the milling period. A lot can happen over the next couple of minutes.
It definitely can, and we're a minute away from that 1 minute gun. Most of these guys are going to want to be about the apex of the first turn down here when the 1 minute gun goes off, and then they'll stroll up the back straightaway, hopefully in the lane that they've chosen. When they get at the other turn up there, they're going to be about a 12-second run from the exit pin to the starting finish line.
All right, 140 to the start. Everybody went up to the top except Jamie Nielsen again. He cut the race course again. He cut it back to front. He cut it at the top end, a legal maneuver. So here comes Dustin Eccles down the front straightaway. He's coming down here at 1:25. You heard John just say you want to be at the apex of this corner about the 1 minute mark, so they might be a little bit early. Jamie Nielsen trails both Gunnar O'Farrell and Dustin Eccles down to the corner, and then your last boat going down there, which actually I like perhaps the positioning of J. Michael Kelly. That's the red boat. He's going to be the last one down there. Fans, our boats, when they come out on the race course, they are not assigned a lane. They actually jockey for those positions, and to get those lanes, the last piece to that puzzle is you cannot drop below 80 miles per hour, and that will be determined when they take the data acquisition boxes out of the boat after the heat. The data will tell them if they dropped below 80. We saw that yesterday inside 40 seconds heading up toward the top end of the race course. John Walters.
Here they go up the back straightaway, and you can see Jamie, pulled off that magic again, got the inside lane in a good position there. I think that everybody's going to, close it up here pretty quickly, and there'll be a race literally from the exit pin to the starting line.
20 seconds until the start. We're going to go 3 times around. J. Michael Kelly, he's going to have an outside start, but he's going to come into lane 3. That's right. Gunner's got to stay on the outside. The lane was there for him. We are inside 10 seconds to our start. We are coming up on 5. We are 4, 3, 2, 1. Mark, and man, that one's going to be close, but I think it was good. It was the Flavor Pack and Dustin Eccles who broke the clock. I think he's going to get down to the turn first, but he and Kelly are tied together. The start is under review. Who's going to come out first? It is Dustin Eccles in the Flavor Pack, but he has got J. Michael Kelly with him on the outside. He's got Jamie Nielsen on the inside. It is a legal start. It's a legal start, so everybody is good. Up the backstretch, you got 4 H1 Unlimited hydroplanes, closely bunched, but look at Dustin Eccles. John Walters, he's really moving.
He definitely is, and Dustin put himself in a great position there to use that top end. He laid back just a little bit, hit the starting line with top end on everybody, got to the first turn first, and put himself in a position to control that first turn.
And here he comes down to put one in the book. You couldn't see him up the backstretch, but J. Michael Kelly driving the Beacon Electric. It's bright red. It's on the outside, and he's only back by about 3, maybe 4 boat lengths. We are on lap number 2 of 3. The race is out front. It is Dustin Eccles in the Flavor Pack being chased by J. Michael Kelly in the Beacon Electric. Do not forget about Jamie Nielsen. Nielsen in the Legend Yacht Transport is in 3rd place. He's on an inside lane. Now Dustin Eccles got Kelly back by about 5 boat lengths. There's that straightaway speed, John. You talked about it.
Are you still buying heavy and expensive lawnmowers in the AI era? In just 3 minutes, you can quickly clear 100.
Going down the back straightaway there again, he gets into the turn in a nice lane, very controlled, leaving room for Jamie to get through there without any conflict. He's just trying to, come out wide as can, push J. Michael Kelly around the race course a little bit and use up some of that time. And you can see, they get very close coming off the exit pin.
Yeah, and when he's pushing J. Michael Kelly out like that, what he's doing is leaving the door wide open for Jamie Nielsen to pick up ground and save ground on that inside lane. Kelly's driving an awfully big race course. It is Dustin Eccles off the lower end of the race course. He is in first place, but now you see Jamie Nielsen has moved up alongside J. Michael Kelly. They are going to be dead even as they come off the bottom end of the race course, and it's that big course, John, that J. Michael Kelly's having to drive that's opening the door for Jamie Nielsen.
It's a long ways around for J. Michael Kelly as he's on the outside down there, and you can see Dustin's got a little top end on. Everybody gets down there first. Now, when J. Michael has such a big area to make up the difference there, Jamie running on that inside lane's got a much shorter distance, so they come off the exit pin dead even.
Checkered flag flies for Dustin Eccles in the Flavor Pack, and now it's going to be J. Michael Kelly in the Beacon Electric, holding off a hard-charging Jamie Nielsen in the Legend Yacht Transport, presented by the Old Cannery Furniture Warehouse. 1, 2, 3. They come across the start-finish line. Gunnar O'Farrell, our rookie. As I like to say, it's Runny, it's Peabody, King, and Tate coming at you here in Heat 3B. 5 minutes and 30 seconds. Get ready with your countdown clocks. "15 seconds, 15 seconds. I'll give you a countdown at 5. 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Mark. 5 minutes. 5 minutes. We look down in the pit area. There's a hand by a crew member on the back of every boat. And the first one away from the dock is the U9, the Beacon Plumbing. That is going to be Corey Peabody just off to his right. And now turning away from him is the U91, Andrew Tate in the gold and white Goodman Real Estate. Couple of boats away from the dock. Here comes Dylan Runny. He will come away from the dock in the powder blue and white Miss Home Street. So we're getting ready to go racing here. Let's run down our field one more time. It's the U1, the Miss Home Street with Dylan Runny. It is the U9, the Beacon Plumbing and Corey Peabody, the bright red trimmed in black and silver. The U12, Graham Trucking, that's Bobby King. The white trimmed in gold and black, the U91, Andrew Tate. We are 4 minutes and 5 seconds away from the start of Heat 3B, and Seafair reminds you that for your own safety and the safety of those around you, everyone must be out of the water when the hydros are on the Ted Jones race course. But now it's time to get out of the water and enjoy the world's fastest race boats, the H1 Unlimited Hydroplanes. John, 3:45 until the start. I was reading the spot. What did I miss?
Well, I think that as they came down the back straightaway here, we saw kind of an instant replay of what we saw yesterday. Corey Peterson cut across the infield here just north of the start-finish line. Andrew followed him through there, and then Bobby followed him around there. So they're kind of pacing each other. They're kind of checking each other out here. What have you got? Where do you want to be? How are you going to do it? In the old days in the sport of boxing, when they had a fight that really wasn't much of a fight, they called it a boat race. We're going to borrow, we're going to borrow a word from their sport. I think the only way somebody's going to win this is going to be a knockout.
Now, well, that works for me. Now, watch this. Now, these are a couple of teammates here. Dylan Running going to cut the race course, going to cut it right in front of Andrew Tate. Now, he came out. The boat that is moving to the race course from the infield, in this case the home street and Dylan Running, he doesn't have any right-of-way until such time as he passes two buoys. Now, he got nowheres near his teammate. That would be the Goodman Real Estate and Andrew Tate. There would be no incident there. 2 minutes and 35 seconds to the start. Here comes the rookie Bobby King across start-finish line. He did a great job yesterday of getting an inside lane. We'll see how it plays out this time, but right now, watch where Andrew Tate's going. He is going to go on the outside of Dylan Runny. Very, very interesting. He jumped to the outside of the powder blue and white boat. It looks now like maybe he has found his way back inside, John, but that we were watching on the monitor here from the drone. That was an interesting maneuver by Andrew.
It was an interesting maneuver by Andrew, and yesterday Andrew came from the infield to the backside there and got real close with JMK, and they had a little discussion about that last night. This morning, you can see that as they get ready to come up the back straightaway here, Dylan needs to win this heat. He's not got the points that he'd really like to have at this point in time, so he's going to lead everybody around there and try to take charge of this thing, make a good start here, and lead everybody to the first turn.
Yeah, and I said it looked like Andrew Tate had maybe come back to the inside. He has not. Dylan Runny right now coming down the front straightaway. He is sitting in lane number 1. Behind him, and now in lane 2, just to his outside, albeit behind him by quite a ways, is Andrew Tate and the Goodman Real Estate, the U91. Then lane 3 is slotted Corey Peabody. Nobody has beaten Mr. Peabody in a heat that he has finished. And then on the outside right now is Bobby King in the Graham Trucking. Coming up on 5 seconds to the 1 minute mark. The boats have to declare the lane they are going to race in. They do that by the lane they are in when they get to the entrance pin of the floating bridge turn. That's the lane they have to bring to the start-finish line. Then standard overlap rules apply. So we could see a lane change now, but we're getting late in the game. I don't see anything happening. If Dylan Runny, who's way out in front, John, he's got to watch that 80-mile-an-hour rule.
He does. That was a problem that he had yesterday, and he's kind of setting him up for the same sort of thing this time. I really think Corey's in the best position right here. He's back behind everybody. Dylan's trying to get up there to assure that he gets that inside lane, but yesterday when he did that, he was able to get up there in the inside lane, but he was a little bit early, and when he had to back off, the other guys came around with boat speed on him, led him to the first turn, and he ended up finishing back in the pack.
Yeah, the two boats from Madison are leading the field up here. The home street's going to come off the corner first. Then it's going to be Andrew in lane number 2. Corey's behind the field right now as they come off the top end of the race course. We are inside 10 seconds. We're inside 5 seconds. We are 4, 2, 1. Mark, and we are racing, and Corey Peabody is back at the start. It is the two Madison boats. It is the Goodman Real Estate on the outside, Dylan Runny on the inside, and the home street that are out in front and by a large margin. Coming off the corner, it is a legal start. Everybody is legal. Dylan Runny in the home street's got the lead over teammate Andrew Tate in the Goodman Real Estate. Keep an eye on that white boat in third place. It is Corey Peabody. Nobody has beaten him this year. But right now he trails the two boats from Madison, Indiana. John Walters, can he make up that much ground?
He's got a lot of ground to make up, and Andrew's pushing real hard on the outside there as they come down the outside. He's actually kind of protecting the boat on the inside of him because Corey's got to get around the first one first, which is going to be Andrew. So he's got a long ways to go. This is a big race course, big wide turns. It's tough to make up any ground here. Dylan's in the perfect spot right there on the inside lane. Good lead going into the first turn. The water's a little bit rough. You can see the kind of the sawtooth in the skid fin water there as it's hooking and unhooking as he exits off the comes off the exit pin and with the lead.
And I mentioned those two boats are from Madison, Indiana, but do not expect Andrew Tate to just sit back there in second place. If he's got a shot at getting around Dylan Runny, trust me, he will take it. Andrew Tate is a racer, and he is closing on Dylan Runny at the top end of the race course. There's Runny, there's Tate, lane 1, lane 2. We're going to come down and put 2 in the book. They are going to be side by side. Andrew really hung the 91. He's got a lot of air underneath it. He had to pull his foot. We start lap number 3. It's a 2-boat length advantage for Dylan Runny at the bottom end of the race course. Now, this corner could really help decide our Heat 3B here. It is Runny on the inside. It is Tate on the outside. Andrew's going to try and get around him. He's only back by a half a boat length. They are dead even out of the corner. John, it doesn't get any better than that.
It absolutely doesn't. They're dead even. Andrew's got a little boat speed on him here on the top end. He's pulled out about a boat length on him. He's going to control the second turn now as he gets in there. He's going to try to hold Dylan as tight to the buoy line as he can, get him to pull his foot a little bit, bleed off some boat speed, and hopefully that he can, out accelerate him coming off the turn here and get to the finish line first.
They have been racing against each other since they were 9 years old. Oh my goodness, this is going to be close. It is Andrew Tate. Andrew Tate. Oh my goodness, it's a good thing they painted that boat last week. I think he got him by a coat of paint. Oh my goodness, that was close.
Wow, what a race. What a race.
And we said it on lap number 2. I said, don't expect him just because, quote unquote, they're teammates, to expect Andrew Tate to let him have that win. It's just not going to happen. It's not in the DNA of Andrew Tate. And he was actually asked about that before the season started by the Myers brothers, who were standing just down from us, and he said, yeah, we're teammates. He said, but I don't like that word. He goes, Dylan wears powder blue, and I wear gold and white. And when we get on the water, I want to win. Holy cow, that was some kind of fun. And John, I can't say it anymore. The Corey Peabody puzzle has been apparently solved, although Corey's going to kick himself. He was late at the start.
He will. He was just a little bit late at the start, and a second or two, made all the difference in the world there. You'd have to take a look at the lap speeds to see, how fast he was or how slow he was compared to the two boats that finished ahead of him. But he learned something there. The guys on the beach learned something there, and he'll come out and he'll be right back, in the chase.
I got a question for you. Coming down on lap number 2, I think it was, or maybe it was the completion of 1, the start of 2, and Andrew kind of hung the 91 out here. He had a lot of air into the boat. How do you not pull your foot completely out of that thing? He didn't lose that much momentum. I thought he's going to have to pull his foot. He's going to lose a lot. He didn't. He just hung with it and brought it back home.
Yeah, these boats are so controllable with that one-piece forward canard wing up there. And honestly, in a situation like that, the worst thing you can do is pull your foot. The propeller, is holding the back end of the boat up, and if you come off the throttle, the back end drops down, and then you've got, a real handful of race boat trying to, settle the thing back down again. So he was on both pedals. He had, one foot clear to the floor with the gas pedal there, and then he had another foot on there, bringing the front end down with that one-piece canard wing up there. Did an outstanding.
We need to publicly apologize to everyone who bought our Titanium Pro pan because we lied. Yeah, it's true. The pan is naturally non-stick thanks to its engineered titanium surface. The pan is 100% non-toxic because it has no coatings. The pan will last you a lifetime. Buy it once, buy it for life. And yes, you can clean it in seconds or throw it in the dishwasher. Yes, it has unmatched searing power, unlike Teflon pans. And it's also true that you can use this pan on gas, electric, and induction stovetops, and in the oven as well. And because it's made of titanium, it's scratch resistant even against metal utensils, unlike standard pans coated with forever chemicals like Teflon. Now to the lie. We thought we couldn't drop the price, but we're having a flash sale, so we're dropping it by 67% for a limited time only. With this pan, you get non-toxic cooking without forever chemicals leaching into your food, all while having one pan that can last you a lifetime instead of 2 years.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 started, or 6 started, 5 have finished. Take this moment right now because we want to run down the 6 boats that are going to run in our final heat for the APBA Gold Cup. We're going to start with the U1, the Miss Homestreet and Dylan Runny. The U8, the Beacon Electric and J. Michael Kelly. The U9, the Beacon Plumbing and Corey Peabody. The U11, Legend Yacht Transport, presented by the old furniture cannery, Jamie Nielsen. The U40, the flavor pack, Dustin Eccles. And the U91, the Goodman Real Estate with Andrew Tate. That is our 6-boat final field. Our alternate boat is the U60, the Beast Unleashed, presents Miss Thriftway and Gunnar O'Farrell. And the way that's going to work, John, it's a little different than maybe it has in the past. Gunnar's boat will be in the water, and if at any time prior to the 2-minute mark, one of our boats has gone down or has not yet arrived on the race course, they will turn Gunnar loose. After the 2-minute mark, if all 6 boats are up and running, he is done at that point. So it'll be the home street, Dylan Runny, Beacon Electric, J. Michael Kelly, Beacon Plumbing, Corey Peabody, the Legend Yacht Transport, presented by the Old Cannery Furniture Warehouse and Jamie Nielsen, the Flavor Pack, Dustin Eccles, and the Goodman Real Estate, Andrew Tate. We have had fabulous racing here this weekend, all weekend long. Can we keep it going? One more heat. We are 1 minute and 30 seconds to the 5-minute mark, John.
I think it's going to be worth the wait here. Everybody's so excited for this. I think it's going to be an amazing heat. As you mentioned, there's so much at stake here. The Beacon Electric with J. Michael Kelly and the Beacon Plumbing with Corey Peabody. There's 91 points difference between the two of them. There's another 91 out there that's real important, and that's the U91 of Andrew Tate. He's consistently had the fastest laps all day long here in both heats. So even on the outside, he's got that thing hooked up and rolling. So it's going to be an amazing race. I think you're going to see a big race here during the 5-minute gun as people are jockeying for position. You're going to see people cutting across the course from both sides. There's going to be pushing and shoving and maybe even trading some paint. But I think that, it's as I said before, hold on to your hats. This is going to be a boat race.
It is going to be a boat race. If you've got a watch, a countdown watch, and you want to set it, get ready. We're 30 seconds away from the 5-minute mark. Inside 30 seconds to the 5, I will give you a countdown from about 5, 6, or 7 seconds. We're ready to go. It is the APBA Gold Cup, the oldest active motorsports trophy in the world. 15 seconds. 10 seconds. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Mark. 5 minutes. 5 minutes to the start of our APBA Gold Cup final heat. It's the Home Street Bank Cup, the APBA Gold Cup at Seafair. The first boat away from the dock is going to be Jamie Nielsen. He's going to come out in the Legend Yacht Transport presented by the Old Cannery Furniture Warehouse. Jamie Nielsen away from the dock. It is Chartreuse. It is Royal Blue. And he's going to have the rest of the field right behind him. Ladies and gentlemen, we are inside. 5 minutes. We're at 4:30 until our final heat actually begins. Let's one more time take a look at the boats. It's the U1. It's powder blue and white. It's the Miss Home Street. It's driven by Dylan Runny. The bright red U8 Beacon Electric, driven by J. Michael Kelly. The U9, predominantly white with the blue lettering, the Beacon Plumbing, Corey Peabody. Then it's the aforementioned U11 Legend Yacht Transport, presented by the Old Cannery Furniture Warehouse and Jamie Nielsen. Then it's the blue and yellow, the Flavor Pack, the U40, driven by Dustin Eccles. And then the white boat, trimmed in black and gold, the Goodman Real Estate, the U91, driven by Andrew Tate. Our final heat is 3 minutes and 45 seconds away. Seafair reminds you that for your own safety and the safety of those around you, everyone must be out of the water when the hydros are on the Ted Jones racecourse. So now it's time to get out of the water and enjoy the world's fastest race boats, the H1 Unlimited Hydroplanes. John Walters, I'm reading my copy. I'm not looking. What am I missing?
Well, they came out of the pits. As you mentioned, Jamie was the first one out. He got to about the start-finish line on the backstretch there, cut across to the infield, and came over to this side. Dylan went just a little bit farther up the back straightaway and came across on this side. They're all kind of packed up together now with J. Michael Kelly on the inside. It looks like Dylan's cutting across the infield here, going to try to steal that inside lane from JMK. And we've got Andrew on the next lane in lane 3. 3 or 4, and then Corey out in lane 5. It looks like Jamie's back in the back waiting, looking to find an open hole here, and Dustin Eccles following up behind everybody, looking for that opening with all that top end. He wants to get to the first turn first.
I was kind of surprised there. It looked like J. Michael Kelly definitely left room for Dylan Runny coming across the race course to get on that inside lane. So with 2:35 until our start up the backstretch, it is Dylan Runny sitting on an inside lane. He now moves a little bit to the outside. Looks like the field's going to move outside with him. It's J. Michael Kelly in 2. But then I talk about the fact that maybe Kelly let Runny on that inside lane. But you've been saying all along, you think lane 2 is the place to be. Maybe let him in. Maybe he wants to.
Yep, absolutely. Most of the guys here will tell you that lane 2 is the fastest lane. You can come strolling down here, get to the entrance pin, and just turn the boat in lane 2. Lane 1 is a little bit tighter. It's harder to run right on the buoy line, and if somebody's in lane 2 can pinch you, you have no place to move on the inside. You either go inside the race course or hit a buoy. So lane 2 is really the preferable lane.
Well, and at the top end of the race course, Dylan Runny went way wide, and J. Michael Kelly actually moved to the inside, but now it appears Runny has tightened it up a little bit, and JMK has let him go in there, and Kelly has moved back to the outside in lane number 2. Andrew Tate finds himself right now sitting in lane number 3. Then it is the Beacon Plumbing, Corey Peabody in 4, Jamie Nielsen in 5. Dustin Eccles is on the far outside. I like where they are, although maybe Kelly and Runny might be a little bit early. John Walters, you want to be at that apex at the 1 minute mark. We're not yet to 1:10, although we're there now.
Yeah, you sure do. And Dylan's working real hard to try to get the inside lane here. And the way they've run this weekend, I think they need the inside lane to be competitive here. J. Michael Kelly has got enough boat speed, enough experience that I think he can get a little deeper run at it, and he can win from lane 2. But the one I think you really need to keep your eye on there is in lane number 3, and that's Andrew Tate. Andrew's boat is accelerating extremely well. He's able to fly that thing into the wind here better than most people would give you even credit that is even possible to do. And he's been managed to not only fly the boat but keep his foot on the throttle at the same time and not really give up any speed there. Where the other boats have gotten badly out of shape, they've had to back off the throttle and they lose a lot of time there.
I think we got a couple of boats up there early, and certainly Dylan Runny is one of them. I think Kelly might be a little bit early. We're at 20 seconds right now, and they're already coming off the top end of the race course. I think Runny's going to have that inside lane, but he may have overpaid for it. Then it's going to be Kelly in 2, going to be Tate in 3, Peabody in 4. It's going to be Eccles on the outside. Nielsen's going to be in 5. We are 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Mark and Andrew Tate did not break the clock. Dylan Runny did, but it was Tate with the boat speed from lane number 3 or 4, and then on the outside, it was Dustin Eccles who's going to turn left first, come out of there. It is Andrew Tate. He comes off the corner first, but he's got J. Michael Kelly right with him. Kelly hooked just a little bit as he got to the exit pin of the corner, and Andrew Tate was able to open up a little bit on him. Now Kelly's got the boat straightened back up, and here comes J. Michael Kelly. The start is legal. They are really rolling hard. Somewhere in that mess, and it's back in about 4th place, is Corey Peabody to the exit pin at the top end of the race course. On the outside, coming from lane number 3, it is Andrew Tate in the 91, the Goodman Real Estate. Look at the flavor pack on the outside with Dustin Eccles as he flies it across start-finish line. Remember, fans, we go 5 times around. Corey Peabody is definitely back as Dustin Eccles flew the flavor pack as they got down to the lower end of the race course. Oh, have we got one hooking up here? Good. It is Andrew Tate on the outside. He's got about 3 boat lengths on J. Michael Kelly. This is turning into a very good 2-boat run, John Walters. But right now, Andrew Tate starting to open up a little bit of water on J. Michael Kelly.
Andrew's really in the perfect spot position here. He's got room on the outside to drift out a little bit if he needs to. He's really trying to hold that number 2 lane and not give J. Michael Kelly any more room than he absolutely has to there. They come off the exit pin pretty close because J. Michael had a shorter distance, but Andrew's got top end on him here, and he tends to pull away a little bit more. He's in perfect shape. The boat is one run, but J. Michael Kelly's pulling real hard on the inside there. They're going to be side by side when they get to the entrance pin.
Yeah, they're down at the entrance pin of the corner right now. We start lap number 3, and they are literally dead even. They are dead even. Now it's Kelly that you see first coming off the exit pin. Right with him is Andrew Tate. J. Michael Kelly comes off the pin. You can see Tate. He's right on the outside. We expected a barn burner. This is a beauty. We've got a great race running for second place. Dustin Eccles in the Flavor Pack is on the outside of Corey Peabody in the U9 to Beacon Plumbing, but the race is out front, and Kelly just opened up some water on Tate. Not much, but he's got about 2 or 3 boat lengths. Exit pin off the top end of the race course. The Gold Cup is on the line. The National High Points Championship is on the line, and Kelly has opened up a little bit of water. They'll put 3 in the books with 2 more to go. It is J. Michael Kelly and the Beacon Electric. Johnny's opened up water.
He has, and Andrew's really fighting with the wind at this point in time. He's really trying to work hard to keep that boat settled down. In the meantime, J. Michael is out front and pushing hard. He's actually stretching the lead a little bit. He's picking up a little bit of room every straightaway here. They kind of hold even with each other going through the turns, but with all that water in the air, it's hard to see exactly what's going on with Andrew over there, but he's losing ground.
He is losing a little bit of ground now to the top end of the race course. The race for third place has kind of been settled. It is now Corey Peabody in third position, but our race is at the top end of the race course. J. Michael Kelly will come down and complete lap number 4. He'll get a white flag with 1 to go, and he is opening water still on Andrew Tate. He's got more than a rooster tail. J. Michael Kelly, this could be the race of his career. He's won a Gold Cup before. He has never won the Drivers' National High Points Championship. Take that back. He's never won the team and the drivers at the same time. He would get them both right here if he can hold on for 3/4 of a lap. Up the backstretch, J. Michael Kelly off the turn. Got a full rooster tail on Andrew Tate. Third place goes to teammate Corey Peabody driving a Beacon Plumbing. And then it is back to the Flavor Pack. And then Dylan in the home street. Top end of the race course, John Walters, I'm going to bring him through the top end and bring him down. The checkered flag is hanging. J. Michael Kelly, this could be the biggest day of his career. He is off the turn. He can see the finish line. He picks up the front end, flies it a little bit. This is all his if he can finish it. Checkered flag, your Gold Cup winner, J. Michael Kelly in the Beacon Electric. Second place to Andrew Tate in the Goodman Real Estate, the U91. Then it is Corey Peabody. You hear the fans clapping here behind us on the tower. I think that is a popular win. J. Michael Kelly. Holy cow, 4th place is going to go to Dustin Eccles in the U40, the Flavor Pack. Here come Dylan Runny. He will come down in the U1, the Miss Home Street. We expected a good one. We got it. Oh my goodness, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 started, or 6 started, 5 have finished. Here comes Jamie Nielsen in the U11, the Legend Yacht Transport, presented by the Old Cannery Furniture Warehouse. My, oh my. John Walters, that was fun. Can we do this again?
Yeah, that was an amazing race, and I think you just saw J. Michael have the better boat ride as the water got rougher, the wind came up. He was just able to run in at any lane that he wanted to. The boat was completely under control. It was really fast, and when they got in the rough stuff, J. Michael Kelly was able to just open up a little bit of ground, and once he got out in front, he just never looked back.
John, we've always said, or I have always said as an announcer, you can have all of the power in the world, but if you don't have a good boat ride and can't use it, it just doesn't do you any good. And to your point, J. Michael Kelly, I think, had a better boat ride than Andrew Tate did. That doesn't mean Andrew was going to make it easy. Man, he hung right with him there. That was good deck-to-deck boat racing for the oldest active motorsports trophy in the world. The National High Points Championship was on the line. We got to caution everybody here a little bit. The results are unofficial. Those are the results on the water. The boats have to go through tech inspection, which they will do.
Yeah, we've been lucky so far today, or the guys have just been that good that we haven't really had any technical disqualifications or any technical rule issues at all. I hope that is indeed the continues here in the final heat. But a whale of a boat race, man. You saw some outstanding driving. You saw some outstanding preparation. These guys are professionals, and this is the best boat racing can ever be.
We are watching on the monitor here. J. Michael Kelly has just pulled the U8, the Beacon Electric, back to the dock. Watch him. He